Good afternoon. Welcome to Green Card Guys TV. I'm your host, John Ting, and I'm here to solve your immigration problem and hopefully prevent it from happening in the first place. Now, welcome again. I'm here to answer any of your questions to the best of my ability. And of course, we might not be able to get to it or it might be too in depth on YouTube. So, in that case, you're welcome to give us a call up there, 720-740-4247. Or if you're at work and you can't call in, maybe you could text in, or you can fill out the form on our website in the description box below and go to greencardguys.com, and I'll show you later on how to go to the next step. All right. So we do offer free 15-minute preliminary discussion, and you can access that by getting that secret code towards the end of the show. Now, today's topic is what are my options after the green card application is denied? We actually just had a consultation about this about 15 minutes ago. So it appears to be a common situation, unfortunately. And, one example, I'll just give you some examples and I'll, of course, share with you the solutions on what to do after it's denied. But one example is maybe you didn't provide a medical exam, and you weren't familiar with it. And, whether you had a lawyer or not, some law firms, unfortunately, I don't know why, they might not have the proper checklist for you. We always check every like couple months, okay, on the checklist. We refresh it, try to think outside the box, especially when a client doesn't have certain things that's on our checklist. But medical exam is very important. Okay. This is when someone is applying for residency, a green card. Okay. Even though, by the way, it's not actually green in it. Does anyone know what the color used to be? Let me know in the comment section below. I don't remember exactly when it changed, but it was not green. I mean, it was green, but it was a different color before it was green. Okay, so check that out. Let me know in the comment section. Let's see here. Um, so the thing is, all right, a lot. So you get the option, you get the denial letter, and then you read it, and they say, okay, you can file another form, 290B. If I recall, it's at least $675. So if you're gonna send in that form, you might wonder, well, how long will it take to get a response? Is it similar to like a request for evidence where they'll just start resuming your case immediately? Hypothetically, it should, if that was the case, but they could also deny your motion to reopen. They don't have to approve your motion to reopen. And even if they approve your motion to reopen, does not mean that they're going to approve your actual case, the 485 form. So that's just something to keep in mind. That's a lot to consider. But that's really the number one question is how long will it take USCIS to give you the ultimate decision again after mailing in that 290B? There's no timetable on the USCIS website. Okay. That's a little secret. Actually, it's public on the website. You just have to do a little digging and look around which forms are available. So I will check right here. I'll do it again now. Who knows? Maybe it changed. I'm going to go to the USCIS website and go to tools. I'm going to share my screen. Watch it pull. Watch this website prove me wrong. Let's see. Okay, let's check this out. All right, I went to uscs.gov, go to tools and resources, go to case processing times. I like to show my screen so you know exactly where I'm finding the source of information. I click this drop down menu. Unfortunately, when I share my screen, you can't see the drop down menu, but if you go to this website yourself, which I'll put in the comment section here, you'll notice that there is no 290B form option here. And the purpose of this web page right now is to show you the processing times. So, AKA, they don't want to tell you how fast they're going to process that 290B appeal and motion to reconsider form. Maybe because they don't know how to track it. That's a pretty big problem. So in that situation, okay, so yeah, that's option one. You could file that 290B. But ultimately, of course, depending on the circumstances, if you have a finding of marriage fraud for some reason, you definitely need to speak with a lawyer for sure. Um, but in general, aside from marriage fraud finding, usually, sorry, I'm a little under the weather. Usually, we recommend two other options. So, option number two is refiling the case itself. If your I-130 was already approved, you don't have to file that again. But refiling the 485 is very important for sure, along with your work permit application and advanced parole together. Now, but of course, at the end of the day, and the reason again to do that is because on the website I just shared with you, uscs.gov, it has the timetable for estimated um, time, how long it will take to approve. Okay, or I'm sorry, to give a decision. Okay, it does not say that it will approve it. It'll just how long it will take to give a decision. Okay, and then so that's the second option. Option number three is really even more dependent on the reasoning. If they deny you and they give some kind of reasoning that really that most lawyers would think is probably what we call ridiculous. The legal phrase is arbitrary, capricious, erroneous. Then we would recommend option number three, and that is to file a lawsuit against the government. Okay, in federal court. So those are three options. Typically, I wouldn't do number one if um, if it was not a marriage fraud for sure. Okay. So again, you need to speak with a lawyer if you have your form 485 denied. You may have even had your I-130 denied. And typically, if that's usually if maybe for some reason they don't believe that you, or you meaning the sponsor, U.S. citizen or legal permanent resident, is actually have that status. And typically in that situation is that they're trying to prove verify that you are a U.S. citizen. Of course, the most common way to prove that is with your U.S. passport or birth certificate from any of the 50 states in America. Okay, and or the territories, of course. And so that's one way. But usually, sometimes when they give you some slack on this, give you some problems on the I-130, is because maybe you have a delayed birth certificate in any of the 50 states or territories of the U.S. So that's something to be concerned about. All right. Because if there's a way you could save money, then sure. But unfortunately, when the government USCIS denies cases like this, it it's typically preventable. Okay. Um, so that's, I mean, it's hard for me to say. If you had a lawyer, then it would be like piece of cake. But I know it's difficult to choose a lawyer. Okay, and that's why we're out here on YouTube sharing information, because I know depending on your budget, you might not be able to afford one. But I'm really always disappointed, especially when people call in and we find out they did have a lawyer and they weren't given the proper advice, unfortunately. So we do the best we can internally as a team to keep track of cases, to make sure it's in line. Of course, we can't control the government processing times. We can control our own internal processing times, okay, to get your case filed and respond to requests for evidence or notice of intent to deny. Okay. So, and I know most of y'all are very excited to get legal, apply for legal status and whatnot. But if you don't have the documents or what we call evidence of bona fide marriage ready at the time of filing, I would wait. Okay. You really want to, don't depend on the government sending you requests for evidence. Typically they do. Okay. However, I have heard of people when they called in and had a consultation, they said, "Hey, John, the USCIS didn't send me RFE." I'm like, well, why were you waiting for that? What is this something you could have filed beforehand? So yeah, don't be such in a rush to file it with only a marriage certificate. Some people say, "Oh, I filed." Like we ask, "What did you file with your forms?" They said, "Just the marriage certificate and photos." The officers appreciate some photos, but they don't want a whole like photo album of photos. First of all, they don't have time to check all of it. They don't know if it's Photoshop. First of all, I would hope not. It's not Photoshop, but I'm just saying like that's not really, in my opinion, primary proof of bona fide marriage. Okay, so I have heard of people sending in photos, of intimate situations. And yeah, that's I've heard from officers they don't actually want that. So don't assume that just because it's so intimate that you should share that. So be careful, okay? Let's see here. So yeah, by the way, on our website, folks, if you just want more information and not too sure to call in to our office or any other lawyer, that's okay. We have free guides on our website. Okay, it's a PDF. You can download them on our website, greencardguys.com, and it contains common questions and answers with an estimated step-by-step timeline. And our most popular one right now, especially during the pandemic, is the one about mandamus, about federal lawsuits against agencies like USCIS, for example, because you've had a case that's been delayed for too long. It could either be after an interview or before interview. You weren't even scheduled yet. Okay. And I, for example, many success stories, but one of them is that it was an employment-based adjustment of status application, and he had gone to the interview already 3 years before and received requests for evidence, not one time, not two times, but three times, and provided all the proper information. And folks, at the interview, the officer said everything checks out. You should receive a decision, and he never did for at least 3 to 4 years. What do? We filed the lawsuit. We got the result we needed. We responded to requests for evidence as well, assisted him on that, and got approved in about 3 months after we filed a lawsuit. Now, it doesn't happen that quickly for everyone, but that's just an example of a success story. Okay. If you have a similar situation where you've been waiting a long time, let me know in the comment section. Even if you're watching this later, when you filed your case originally and what exactly you're waiting for, the interview or the actual decision of your application. Okay. I think it's always interesting, kind of, especially getting a gauge where you are in the country or if you're waiting abroad outside the United States. So, yeah, that's very frustrating because, and then the client thought to himself, shoot, I wish I knew about this option of mandamus because really it truly is the last option in the fork in there is no fork in the road. It is the last option if you have been waiting for so long. Other folks have called in and said they waited at least 5 years for their interview for asylum. Okay, so that's a freaking long time. Of course, different USCIS policies changed under during President Trump, but that's no excuse. Okay, the government needs to take some action. But because we know the government's very inefficient, they don't really have a good tracking system. It's really upon you to take action. And so there are options. One last option. Yes, you could do the submit an inquiry to USCIS, but if you look at that web page I just showed you, all right, this one. Let me just pick one that I did yesterday for a client. Okay, it's I-130 U.S. citizen spouse. Okay, 12 months average processing time for 80% of cases. Scroll down and you can submit an inquiry. However, you can't just call, well, you could call in, but they're not going to accept your inquiry request. Like pretty much like a support ticket. Okay, so this person filed it in February 28th. We had filed it February 28th, 2022. It says your case is processing normally. The earliest you can submit questions is June 1st, 2023. June 1st, 2023. And the processing time said 12 months. So by the time it gets to that date to submit inquiry, June 1st, it's already past 12 months. It's ridiculous. The 12-month mark for that client would be February 2023. So you're telling me I can't submit an inquiry to USCIS until after the 12 months, after the posted processing time? It's pretty ridiculous. Okay. I know the employees at USCS National Hotline, they're really trying their best, of course. Um, but really, by the way, you want to check out hot tip here, Emma. Have a chat with Emma. It's a live chat on the website. I find it much faster. Okay. I would recommend doing that before you call in the 1-800 number. All right. So is it even the 800 number? I think so. Let's see here. So yeah, think about that before you call in. Let's see here. Well, it's like they're hiding the phone number too. It's somewhere here. I've seen it before. It's of course also on your receipt notice. All right, folks. So if you do want to call in, it's on the receipt notice on towards the bottom, I believe. Let's see. So yeah, that's something to know. By the way, folks, if you do have any questions, welcome to drop in the comments. Let me know how you're doing today. Today is Friday, TGIF. I hope everyone's enjoy your weekend too, because at least in Texas, it's like right in the middle where it's not too hot and it's not too cold yet. So, but I know people are like, New York, East Coast are like, it doesn't get cold in Texas. Give me a break. So let me know where you're watching from. Always interested to see how far the channel's reached. Let's see. Okay, so again, just want a quick recap for those folks that are joining later or just now joined. It's the main topic for today. What are my options? What are your options after your green card application 485 application has been denied? Now, of course, number one, or really number zero, you need to check, read the decision. Okay, why? What is the reason for denial? Now, if it's a 45 that's denied, it will give a reason, most likely. Every time we read it, it's I know there's sometimes USCS won't even put the date on there. Say like, okay, your case is due, or your 290B or like request for evidence is due within, let's say, 30 days of the date on the letter. I've actually had a couple times where the date was missing on the letter. So like that's ridiculous. Of course, we had to call in. Oh, I'm sorry. Talk to Emma first. Live website chat. What else did I want to show you on the USCS website? Let's see. Okay, let's look around here. A lot of valuable information here that can be helpful for you. There it is. Need help? Ask Emma. Okay, because sometime I think in the past it'll pop up on the right, bottom right. You can also submit a e-request. Oh, I guess not. See, it's telling me I can't go there. Let's see what happens with Emma. Chatting with Emma is easy. It's almost like the Staples button, the easy button. Here it is. I found the phone number. Look how discreet it is. Like they kind of tuck it in a way here at the bottom for USCIS. Okay. There's actually a fourth option. Okay. If you have some kind of delay, not necessarily a denial, but I guess you could. So there's something called, let me share my screen. There's an office called Ombudsman Office. Okay. So you could go here. We completely skipped it now. We used to do it a lot in the past before we file lawsuits. Now we, primarily file lawsuits when you have a situation like this. When in a situation we don't think refiling would be necessary. So, anyways, but ombudsman office is kind of like a separate office in the sense that if a case is taking too long, or you've received some kind of it's just a strange situation, and not necessarily like an inquiry online would take care of it, then you would go here. It's really ombudsman is really the last option, but they're not going to help you with a situation like you've been waiting 4 years or something for a interview or decision. Otherwise, they'll be flooded too. Okay, and what by the way, If you enjoy our content, thanks for the like on Facebook. If you enjoy our content, the way we share information, spend time with y'all, I appreciate it. Smash the like button for me. I greatly appreciate it. And sorry, losing my voice here. If you know anyone that would appreciate knowing about immigration, just updates or tips, um, please share our channel. We greatly appreciate it. We make it very easy, or YouTube does, but our domain is greencardguys.tv. All right, so it'll take you straight to this channel. There's just so much I want to share. But yeah. One of our associates, Terry, just shared with me that someone she just had a consult, and someone said that they watch this channel quite often. So thank you very much. I don't want to. Can I give a shout out? Yeah, let me give a shout out. Let me find the name. I think it was Karen. Shout out to Karen. Thank you very much for watching our channel. Greatly appreciate it. And yeah, some people in general, they you've been watching the channel a lot, and then you may not have considered to give us a call, or maybe it's just you didn't think it was the right timing. It's okay. Just save our channel, subscribe, and when you're ready, give us a call or text in, or fill out the form. Which, by the way, okay, we're getting towards the end here, but here is a secret code. I don't want to delay this anymore. It's on the bottom of the screen. Green Card Guys. You could have guessed it, but if you're new to the channel, thank you so much for waiting to get the code, and share that with our cares team. That you'll speak with them as soon as you call in, and they'll do their best to schedule you for an appointment, a free 15 minutes. But unfortunately, because a lot of people call in, you might not get an appointment as soon as you want it, or you might not get one at all. There could be a situation where we have a free guide PDF that we can share with you, and that hopefully might resolve it. Or you can take a look at that first, and then call in again if you think you have more questions. Okay, let's see here. Okay, I think we got some explicit comments here, so I'm gonna block that. Let's see if that works. Okay, great. That was interesting. All right, so what else to share with you? Okay, I do have a TikTok channel. If you're on TikTok already, please give it a follow. Green Card Guys _John. And we're also another way we share a lot more tips. So I greatly appreciate it. And also, if you are on Facebook, I know not many people are, but if you are, apparently, if you're on Facebook, it's because of the groups. So you're welcome to join ours, Green Card Guys Academy, and we'll be sharing more information with you on there, so we could be provide more value to you. Okay, our team will help out with that. And by the way, I know someone asked us the other day about WhatsApp. If you have it, especially if you're abroad, where is it? Here it is. Okay. This is our WhatsApp number. It's not the one up here. Okay. That's a different number. We don't have WhatsApp with the 720 right now. So just down below 346-330-5888 to contact us on WhatsApp. All right, folks. Thank you so much. I don't see any more questions for now. I hope this information was helpful to you. For the topic, what are my options after green card application is denied? You want to take action very quickly and don't delay. Okay, folks? I wish you the best and have a great weekend. Enjoy.